Hello, my loves. After week 6 of Purge in progress, I feel good. I am tired today because I've just had a busy day today, but I feel good. Um, Here's what I gained from the challenge overall. Um, Doing this challenge before with two of my clients and then coming and doing it with y'all, something that has been made very clear to me is that fasting and praying is very important. Um, Fasting, praying, and journaling are very important. And I do believe that those are keys in gaining the clarity that we need and gaining the understanding that we need in separating ourselves from our bodies and our the needs of our flesh long enough to kind of focus on what spirit is making us aware of. I think it's very much necessary to fast, to pray, to journal. That is something that I'm going to incorporate into my monthly routine. I've been journaling every day, um, especially towards the last, like since week 4 of this challenge. Um, because I give you guys the journal prompts, and that's just one thing to write down. You can finish that in a day and be done. But I've just been writing in my journal every day. Like, I get up in the morning, I write down my thoughts, I pull a card for myself. Um, and I had stopped doing that. I really did. But it's been very healing. Like, I'll go in my Bible and do some bibliomancy in the mornings. That's another thing that I am trying to surrender to. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. It's been very hard for me because I am such a night owl, but Spirit has been telling me for months, you need to get up at 5:45 in the morning. You need to get up at 5:45 in the morning. And I do, because every time I get up at 5:15, 5:20, before my 5:45 alarm goes off, my morning is great. Like this morning, I got up, I worked out, I did my yoga, I cleaned my house, and then I had like a busy, productive morning. I had a couple of clients, I was working on a couple of networks, I was getting calls with that. I had to put out some content for the week. So everything just flows better when I have a consistent morning routine. And that's another thing that doing this challenge has taught me. The way you start your day is the way that it's going to finish. So if you start your day, you wake up and the first thing you're thinking about is, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I got to worry about this, I got to worry about that, I got to deal with this, I got to deal with that, you're going to have a hectic, chaotic day. And it sounds very simple, but what I'm coming to an understanding of, and I feel like I've been having an understanding of this, but it's something that I'm relearning. We are not our minds, and we are not our bodies. We are pure, open consciousness and awareness. And because we are pure, open consciousness and awareness, we can always redirect our minds. We can always redirect our bodies. But if we allow our minds and our bodies and our physical experience to dictate to us what we're going to do and who we're going to be, instead of allowing our spirit to do that, we will be lost every single time. And I feel like doing this challenge, that really has stuck with me. As far as what do I feel I have purged in this, I've purged a lot of guilt in terms of taking my own path, isolating from certain people, not doing what everybody else is doing because they feel like that's what's necessarily right, but doing what I feel is right, regardless to what I see other people doing. I released a lot of guilt around that. Me being a Capricorn Sun, a Capricorn North Node, a Capricorn third house stellium, you guys, making money consistently and having the ability to financially support myself is extremely important to me. I know that I'm married, and y'all are probably like, she has a wife, she doesn't have to worry about it. But my wife, she makes good money, but she can't take care of us on her own. With this economy, it's crazy. So, with that being said, yes, I get stressed out about money. Being an entrepreneur, money is not consistent. And yes, I feel guilty sometimes that I might have a slow week and I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So, doing this challenge, it really has allowed me to release a lot of that guilt, not only around the fact that sometimes I don't have it, sometimes it is slow, um sometimes I do need to organize my time better, and therefore I would have more output and more income. um I did have a lot of guilt surrounding that, and now that I have the clarity that these things are what they are, I know what to do with them. And so that guilt is not really there. It's just more of a anxiety of like, okay, how are we going to channel this energy? Because I'm about to start putting my hands into other things, and I just don't want my business to lose its momentum with me doing that. And it has been 3 years since I've done that, like wholeheartedly. So me kind of also releasing the guilt around that has been another thing. Because I feel like, I put so much blood, sweat, and tears into my business, and I don't want to be working towards someone else's dreams. I want to work towards my own dreams, and I know we all do, but not everybody is meant to be a leader. Not everybody is meant to be a tastemaker, a thought former, a teacher. I didn't ask for these placements. This is just how it was set up for me, and I've just always been this way. Even working for other people, I've never felt like I had a place, and I've been working since I was 15. I just stopped working in 2020. How old was I in 2020? I'm 31 now. So I was 28, 29 at the time. And I've worked in several different settings with different people. I've had different types of bosses. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. And that's no shade to anyone who works a 9 to 5. For me though, it doesn't work. Like, I will just stop going to work, or I'll quit, or I'll be focused on other things while I'm at work, and that's not conducive to what I've signed on to do for the company, nor is it conducive to me and my reputation. So I just decided I'm not going to do it. Now, I've taken jobs with companies that still allow me to do what I do, which is astrology, which is divination, which is writing, which is just freelancing, and doing different things that I'm good at. But I am at a point now where I need more consistency in income, and so I'm having to make some decisions. And it's not that I'm going to go back to what I left, because that would be counterproductive, but I am going to make more of an effort to outsource my skill set to other ventures versus putting 110% into my business energetically, putting 30% into these other ventures, and my business is only giving me a certain amount of income that is not necessarily conducive to what I'm trying to do, to be honest with y'all. So that's not to say anything is changing. Like, y'all are gonna still see me on video, you still be able to book readings. It's just that in doing this purge in progress, I've realized that I don't have to keep doing the same things if they're not working, that I can change direction, and that's okay. Doesn't make me a failure, doesn't take anything away from me. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. I also have purged a lot of shame surrounding, y'all, I'm an only child. My mom was an alcoholic. I started dating when I was like 17, and I've always dated women. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had boyfriends, but like in my adult life, I haven't really had any boyfriends at all. I've never been emotionally connected to men like that. So by the time I was an older teenager, like 17 through 19, I was dating grown ass women, 24, 25, 26 year old women. Um, and I was just trying to live the life that they were living and not being a teenager. And um, I never really realized how that affected me until, I would say, until I was about 25. Then things started to kick in, but I just carry a lot of shame about that time in my life. Like, I was just not myself. I was hiding things. I was hiding a lot of things from a lot of different people, and I was lying a lot. I was throwing rocks and hiding my hands. I was just not, I was not myself at all. And I have harbored a lot of shame about that for years. Even though I've redeemed that, I've made amends, I still have harbored shame. Shame that, I barely wanted to go to school, even though I was so smart and making straight A's. Like, I didn't want to go to school and sit in class, or you know, just feeling shameful about the fact that um, I was 17 and dating 24 and 25-year olds, or, I was 17 and in the club drinking and smoking, and, I was not, I knew at that time that, one, I was raised better than that, but two, that I could do better than that, but I didn't. And so I think I've harbored a lot of shame and disappointment in myself. And that has um, turned into feelings of insufficiency. And it leaked into other things. It leaked into my college experience. It leaked into jobs I've worked. It leaked into my business. Doing this Purge and Progress challenge, not only for the past 6 weeks with you guys, but like I said, doing it since May with my 2 clients, it really has taught me a lot and shown me a lot, given me a lot of revelation. And I'm very grateful, because I feel like now I've gotten to the root of a lot of things, and so I can actually progress for real. So, what am I purging? I'm purging procrastination. I'm purging guilt. I'm purging shame. I'm purging lack of time management. I am purging lack of discipline. I am purging being closed off and withdrawn and not allowing myself to be vulnerable or talk about how I feel. I'm purging resentment and anger that I have for my parents, resentment and anger that I have for my family. I am purging the expectation and entitlement of my flesh and my ego. I'm purging disappointment. I'm purging disruption. Okay, that is what I'm purging, and it feels good. I couldn't even cry before May. I don't know why, but all of 2023, I've not been able to cry, y'all, until week 4 when I told y'all I cried. Like, I've been wanting to cry. Like, sometimes I have felt the lump in my throat. I have felt my chest get tight and my eyes water, but it's just like the tears will not fall. But baby, after that cry I had on week 4, that weekend when I told y'all I could not be there and show up, baby, not that I've been crying all the time every day, but it's like if I need to cry and those feelings well up, the tears is coming. This weekend I had a good cry on Friday night. It just feels so good to purge, to release, to let go, to realize that we doubt ourselves and we judge ourselves so much, and we always think, if I take the next course, if I get the next amount of money, if I meet the next person, then everything is going to work out. But in all actuality, if you just show up and be the person that you say you are, everything will work out. If you just show up and actively take on the role of the person that you are becoming, even though you may not feel like you are there yet, everything works itself out. This is how you switch from belief, think, manifest, to know, have, receive. Okay? And we make it so difficult, but truly it's easy. It's easy. And another thing that I've realized in doing this, you got to keep God first. I'm not here to preach to y'all, but this is what I will say. In my spiritual journey, I have been I have studied psychology. That's what I went to school for. I have studied theology because I'm so interested in theology. Like, I've just always been interested in theology. I've studied Judaism, I've studied Buddhism, I've studied Christianity, I've studied Islam, I've studied Taoism, all of the things, like Hinduism. Like, I've studied all of the religions, because it's just always been very intriguing to me. I started getting into deities, even though I've always believed that every deity is just an extension of the planets. And if you just work with the energies of the planets or the celestial bodies, the bodies of heaven, then everything will be in alignment. Like, I have always believed that if you work with the planets and the numbers, then you're good to go. I've never been one to build heavy relationships with deities, but I tried at a time. Like, it was a time when I was doing a lot of work with Oya, because, I found out she has my head, and it made a lot of sense, my connection with her and what she came to do. And I may even, go back to working with her, because she definitely helps improve my self-discipline. It was a time when I was doing a lot of work with Kali, with Sekhmet, just different deities that I was working with. There was a time when I was more so focused on different spiritualists and their perceptions, and what they had to teach and their thoughts. And I'm not saying that you should not do that. You should, so you can see what works for you, see what you like, see what resonates, makes sense, all of the things. But you have to keep God first, and you have to understand that God is above everything. If you don't want to say God, you can say the Great Mother, you can say the universe, you can say Mother, Father, God, Goddess, however you want to term that is up to you. I'm at a place right now where I'm sticking with God. I'm sticking with the Holy Spirit. It's not about religion for me. It's about building a relationship with the God in myself. And that is what the spiritual journey is about. That's how I started this. And somehow I've just gotten caught up in the woo-woo of it all, that I forgot the most basic of principles that make things work. And I'm progressing back into that. So I hope that you guys will move back into that with me. We're going to start back talking about planetary magic. We're going to do a Holy Spirit series. I'm working on putting together a metaphysical Bible study for y'all. And that's just the direction that we're moving in. We're going to talk a lot about astrotheology. We're going to talk about God. We're going to talk about the God in you. We're going to talk about building relationship and activating your Christ consciousness. That's what we're going to talk about. And if you're not on board for that, I just might not be for you. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's about my ancestors and it's about God. If it's not that, I'm really not concerned with it. Like, yes, I still have crystals. Yes, I do candle work every week for my ancestors. Yes, I do spells on the new moon or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that I'm not going to practice those things, because I'm not Like, I'm an alchemist at the end of the day. I'm going to do my rituals. What I am saying, though, is I'm not focused on any deities, and I'm not about to be advising y'all to focus on that either. I'm not focused on the superficiality of spirituality, the crystals, the herbs, the all of the extra things, the oils. Like, I'll give you guys a few crystals, a few herbs, a few oils that you need, that you can pretty much use for everything. And those of you who are in my Moonchild tribe, you already know, when I send out rituals for the new and full moon, 8 times out of 10, the herbs that I'm using to dress the candles are the same. The ingredients that I'm using for this, it's the same. It's a candle. It's 3 or 4 different herbs that I constantly go to. And it's water. Like, that's what I go to, and that's what I stick with. I am so tired of this fake woke consciousness that people are on, that they're just so far removed from reality, and the fact that at the end of the day, it is God who strengthens us. It is God who wakes us up in the morning and gives us breath. It is God that gave us the ability to talk to our bodies with our brains. It is God that created the dynamic that we have now, that allows us to have consciousness and awareness. Do y'all know that consciousness and awareness is what makes humans evil, even though it's another part of what makes humans beautiful and good? If we weren't conscious or aware of what we're doing, we would just be animals. And some people are conscious and aware so much of what they're doing that they know how to manipulate energy, and they use that animalistic, flesh-like wanting, needing to hurt other people. You can't do that without consciousness and awareness. So consciousness and awareness is definitely a blessing and a curse, but I feel like we need to understand that we were blessed with that by God, and we need to fully walk in that if we want to manifest, because there's no other way. There is no other way that you're going to manifest than leaning into your awareness and understanding that you are pure consciousness and awareness. So that's what I'm progressing into. As far as what we're going to do for the next challenge, I don't know yet. I have some different ideas. Maybe you guys can drop it down in the comments what you want. I'm thinking wait until Scorpio season and do a shadow work challenge for transformation, like truth and transformation challenge. Or I'm thinking if I want to continue the momentum from this challenge, I might just have you guys be a part of my morning routine and film it. So when I get up in the morning, turn on my camera, journal with you guys, do a devotion, and then you guys can see a part of my workout, or I'll do yoga with you guys and then go to the gym. That's something I could do just to continue my self-discipline and hold myself accountable, as well as motivate you guys. I'm definitely going to do another 3-day fast. I might even extend it to 7 days. I probably will honestly extend it to 7 days for the first 7 days of September, because God is calling me to fast for September. I'm told that September is going to be a very abundant, busy month for me. So I'm looking forward to that, but I definitely am going to fast in preparation because I still need to release some things. I do. Other than that, y'all, I really don't have too much else to say. Purge and Progress was beautiful. Thank you guys who have participated in this with me for participating with me. I hope that you'll join the next challenge. I hope you go to 11moons11.com/plan/pricing and sign up for Purge and Progress one-on-one. Those of you who know someone who needs a spiritual mentor, needs a spiritual coach, needs a spiritual counselor, please have them reach out to me at 11moons11.com. or Shawnee L. Smith at 11moons11.com. They can definitely reach out to me via email or just simply book on my website. I always recommend everybody to start with the quickie. It's a 30-minute session that is for your specific questions or concerns. If we need to upgrade you to a soul session from there, we can. You pay the difference. Or we just talk about what you need and then you'll get what you need after that session moving forward. So I would definitely recommend that, but that's where I'm at. That's what this challenge has done for me. It has been totally transformative in my thinking. I didn't realize how angry I was, how much resentment I was carrying, how much frustration I had, how much entitlement and ego I was operating from. I didn't realize how I was becoming cold and withdrawn even from my business because I didn't feel like I was getting the support that I needed. And I feel like I was putting all of my blood, sweat, and tears into it. And people only take it seriously when they want to. So I was carrying a lot. I really was. But this, doing this has identified that for me. And it has put me into a place where I genuinely feel at peace and stillness with where things are and excited for what's to come. Yeah, that's what I would say. I'm trying to decide if I want to read y'all this journal entry. I'm going to read it to y'all. I'm going to go ahead and read it to y'all just for the sake of vulnerability. So, the first 3 words I wrote: favor, faith, discipline. They, the peacemakers, the peace breakers, salvage their self-worth by pointing out your flaws. Celebrate who people are. Trust in your favor, regardless to whether there is a like-mindedness. God has enough resources for everyone. Selfish ambition is a direct result of a scarcity mindset. Don't be so caught up in what you have not acquired that you don't see what you can actually have, or what you actually have, rather. Identify the peace breakers by what comes out of them. Negative talk sows bad fruits. Take the risk of being moral and keeping your fruit good. You can always rewrite your story with the help of God, redefining your legacy and message with the peace of the Holy Spirit and the light. Become a peace shaper. God is at work through the leaders in my world. Full of mercy, they have compassion to spare. Loyal and impartial, authentic and sincere. Assume the best in others. Liberally compliment and be I don't know what I wrote right here, but be something kind. The philosophy of heaven is peace and trust in the power of spirit. Blessed are the peacemakers. So I think I wrote this from another thought, and I thought I had written the thought down. That's why I wanted to read this to y'all. But essentially what made me think of this is God had told me, you need to be peaceful. You need to find peace. You need to make peace. You are angry, and it shows. It shows in your resistance when it comes to doing certain things for your business. It shows in your relationship, in the way that you act sometimes, in the way that you snap, in the way that you take things personally. It shows in your familial connections, how you can just so easily shut everything down and shut everybody off. And I was like, I pride myself on being someone who is not judgmental, who is very open minded and accepting and loving, because that's how I was raised. Like, that's just instilled in me. But actually assessing myself in this challenge, I found that I'm very critical. I'm very judgmental. If people are not on the same frequency that I'm on, or if they don't have like-minded opinions, thoughts, or views, I am quick to dismiss them. I'm not going to argue with them or write them off, but I'm quick to dismiss them, especially if their views and thoughts make no sense to me at all. And I always think I know what's best for people. I just always do, because my intuition is very powerful and I can feel things before they happen, and I just want people to see what I can see and feel what I can feel so they can get it together, not understanding that they need their own journey and their own timeline, and I need to give them grace to be able to do that, So I was writing this all just to simply say, like, in trying to become the best version of myself and chasing consciousness and chasing awareness and seeking truth and information, I have condemned a lot of people that are just still so plugged into the matrix that it sickens me. And I have been so quick to say, well, you need to do this, you need to read that, you need to change this, you need to meditate, you need to journal, and give them all these things that they need to do, which sometimes, people need, but sometimes people don't need to know what they need to change. Sometimes people need to be celebrated for who they are, where they are. They need to be complimented, they need to be affirmed, and they just need to be empowered and uplifted. They need to be reminded that at the end of the day, the Holy Spirit lives within you, and the things that you don't have are all there within you. So whether you pick up a pen and journal, whether you decide to pray, whether you decide to fast, whether you decide to light a candle, or whatever the case may be, I accept you and I love you as you are, because that's my heart. Like, that's what I was saying right here. And when I said rewrite your story with the help of God, redefining your legacy, what I meant was, I'm always telling my story from a place of struggle. I was raised by a single mother. She's an alcoholic. My daddy didn't come around until I was 18, and then he was wishy-washy, and I had to still cut him off. My family is dysfunctional. Everybody argues back and forth, telling each other's business. It's crabs in a bucket. Nobody wants to support each other. It's always some bullshit. I've had to do everything on my own and figure it out basically since I was 16, 17 years old. I've been cheated on, I've been lied to, I've been disrespected, I've been disregarded in relationships. I'm always telling this story of struggle and defining myself by my struggle. And it's like, yes, my struggle made me everything that I am today, but my struggle does not have to define me. I don't have to be an angry, broken little girl who needs emotional validation and who needs someone to validate her knowledge, validate her wisdom, to extend her some grace. Like, I don't have to be that girl anymore. And essentially, that's what I was saying. It's like, identify the peacemakers by what comes out of themselves. Identify the peacemaker by her fruit. By her fruit. I don't have to be that person anymore. I have a wife who loves me, who is loyal to me now, who has a beautiful family, who has embraced me, who has now become my family, that is not dysfunctional. They have their issues. No one's perfect, but they stick together and they support us, and, even though we had our issues in the beginning, like when we first were getting married, because her family's very religious, they have really, I can say, shifted from the time we got engaged to when we first got married to now. Like, everything is cool now. I really do feel embraced like family, and I think that's very beautiful. And not only with just her immediate family, but like with her extended family as well. They know me. We've been together almost 8 years, so I have that now. I also am no longer just a dropout, an employee, someone who's living with no purpose. Like for the past 3 years, I've been living totally and completely on purpose and in intention. And I don't have to keep telling that story of struggle. Yes, my mother was an alcoholic. Yes, I feel like she checked out when I was about 15, even though she still lived in the house with me. She just was barely home. She wasn't emotionally available. There was no like guidance, like, what do you want to do? What college are you going to? How can we, apply to this? What do we need for that? It was very much, I'm going to work, I'm going to school, I'm coming home, I'm figuring everything out on my own. And my mama is just like, what you going to do? Essentially. you know and my mom loves me. She affirms everything I do. She respects me as an adult. She's never put me down. But when you're 15 to 19, those are very formative years, and you need a mentor. I didn't have one. So me not having one and having to become my own mentor, moving to a different city, having to put my whole life together by myself, I changed as a person. I stopped eating meat for 7 years. I stopped drinking, and I stopped smoking for 3 years. You know what I'm like? I just changed myself as a person. I started leaning more into my spirituality, but this is before I even started my business, before I got married, before me and my wife started dating. I did all of that. I became a new person. You know what I'm saying? So I was just saying, like, I just need to change the way that I tell my story. I need to let go of that hurt, broken teenage girl who wanted support, who wanted love, who wanted validation, who wanted consistency because she was tired of the chaos. I'm not her anymore. And I don't have to live in that state. That's really like what this challenge has brought me to. And when I say it's healing, y'all, I mean it. Like, I know my voice probably sounds a little monotone and tired in this video. I probably look tired. I am tired. But what I'm saying is the truth. Like, I can't really say it with too much more excitement, but it's just very it's very eye-opening for sure. Very eye-opening. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the platform to be able to do this. I'm grateful for those of you who have participated with me. I'm grateful for my clients who even made this an idea to begin with. I'm grateful for the growth. I'm grateful for the purging. I'm grateful for the progress. I'm grateful for the understanding, the grace, the mercy. I am just grateful for favor. I'm grateful for faith. I'm grateful for discipline. I'm grateful for clarity. I am just grateful. I'm grateful for glory, and that's really just it. I don't know if I've ever talked to you guys about perfection years, but your perfection year is basically like the theme of your year, astrologically speaking, like what house your year is falling in. No matter when the planets are moving, but like just the whole generalized year. I am in the 8th house perfection year, and 8th house perfection years can be very draining. A lot of debt, a lot of issues with other people, a lot of karmic situations that have not been dealt with definitely come up. I have truly experienced that this year. The year started off beautifully. My birthday was amazing, wonderful, splendiferously divine. Literally 2 days after my birthday, I was sad. I was depressed. I was frustrated. Just to be 100% transparent as to why I was feeling these emotions. Well, first of all, I didn't feel like I was making enough money. And I've told y'all, like, that's a big thing for me because my Capricorn doesn't understand that. Like, there's no way I should not be making a certain amount of money each year. Like, that's crazy to me. So it just makes me feel less than. I've told y'all that even previously in journals. So there was that. Two, I felt like because I wasn't making enough money, I was very limited in what I had access to be able to do for my birthday. I wanted to do a lot of business investments for my birthday that I did not get the opportunity to do. So that saddened me as well. Even though opportunity has allowed me to go ahead and do that now. So it's like, I'm grateful for that now. Like, I started my yoga teaching certification. I started my marketing class. I started my public speaking class. These are things I didn't have the money to pay for, around my birthday. I also feel like me and my wife were losing touch a little bit. Like, we're close. I love her. We get along well. But I just felt like, intimately speaking, and when I say intimacy, I don't mean sex. I mean like emotional and spiritual intimacy. I felt like we were losing touch. And I don't like that. I'm a Scorpio Venus. I need all the intimacy. So that was another thing that was bothering me. I was very frustrated because I feel like my mom has been stuck in a toxic cycle, and she just can't get right. And at that particular time, it was really bad. Like, she was still in some of the big depths of her alcoholism. It was before she moved to a different state, and her health wasn't what it was supposed to be. It was just a lot going on. Like, it was just a lot going on, y'all. It was a lot. Like, I could just sit here and tell y'all everything, but I'm not gonna do that. Like, it was just a lot going on. So I found myself like anxious. I found myself depressed a little, frustrated. But of course, I'm gonna put on a happy face. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And then when I think about January and February, January was okay. I remember being in a space of understanding, in a space of openness, in a space of vulnerability, which felt good. February, I was making more consistent income, which felt good. I had started a new job, doing psychic work for a different network. So that was helping me out a lot. March, I went to Mexico. Every time we go to Mexico, it's a beautiful time. That was very renewing for me. But then when we got home, it's like I just was in the same boat again. Like, I'm frustrated, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I'm anxious. I'm trying to figure all this shit out by myself. I can't figure it out. Nobody wants to help me, but everybody want to tell me what I should be doing. And it was just a lot of like, woe is me, to be honest. Like, it was a lot of woe is me. But then in May, when I started doing Purge and Progress, it just changed my perspective. It changed everything for me because I started seeing that I was the problem. My perspective, my mindset, my heart posture was the problem. And working the past 3 months through that, it's been hard. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all it's been easy, but it has been rewarding even with its difficulty. Like, I can genuinely say that. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of this year. I know that it's going to bring abundant blessings and revelation for me. And I'm just looking forward to more joy. I'm looking forward to more love. I'm looking forward to more abundance. I'm looking forward to more support. I don't just think it's coming. I don't just believe it's coming, but I know 100% for a fact that it's coming. And I hope that you guys are willing to come along this journey with me. That's it. That's all I really have to say. Again, this is our last Purge and Progress video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the Purge and Progress challenge. But it has worked wonders for me. Again, if you want to do this challenge personally with me one-on-one, please visit 11moons11.com/plans-pricing and you can sign up. I will do one-on-one sessions with you every single week. We will do yoga together. We will fast together. We will meditate together. We will journal together, okay? and it will be based on your specific issues and your specific needs. The only thing that we will not be doing together is doing ritual together, because I'm a firm believer in doing your own rituals. I think group rituals is great, like if you're going to do it in person. But virtually speaking, I just have different views on it, and I feel like, if I give you a ritual to do, you need to set the intention, get the stuff, and do the ritual on your own. So that's the only thing that I would be holding you guys individually accountable for. Everything else we're going to do together in our weekly sessions. So for 6 weeks, you're going to meet with me every single week. I will try to keep your sessions on the same day, around the same time, so that there's consistency. But if you can't, for whatever reason, and there are scheduling conflicts, you definitely can let me know and we can work something out. That's it. That's all I have to say. I'm going to end this with a reading, the week 6 tarot spread that I created. And then we're going to get on up out of here. Ooh, y'all, this vulnerability is a lot, because I am a Scorpio rising. I do not like people in my business. And I just really have been telling y'all all of my little business. Lord. But I just want y'all to understand that I'm tired of the fake shit. Like, everybody wants to come online and pretend like they're perfect and everything is wonderful, and everybody wants to sell these courses and sell these readings, and they don't want to talk about like their spiritual journey and what they've been through and what they're working on. And it's just like, how am I going to trust you to know that you're doing the work when you're pretending like everything is fine and you're completely healed? And I know that nobody is completely healed. And I also know that if you're constantly marketing a course on something, like, for example, I am a spiritual life coach. So all on my timeline, I'm constantly seeing these ads of people, how to market your coaching, how to market your coaching, how to market your coaching. Then they'll do a webinar. The webinar is 30 minutes. The webinar says a whole lot, only to say nothing, only to get you to buy whatever it is that they're selling you. Like, I'm not here to do that. I'm telling y'all up front what I'm selling, okay? I'm telling y'all what's included in it. I don't have time to be bullshitting. Like, I just don't have the time for it. I'm at a place where I'm in a transformative spot. I've been in a transformative spot. I answered the call when Spirit tapped me on my shoulder. And now I'm trying to inspire those whose Spirit is now tapping on the shoulder to answer that call as well. If that's you, great. If it's not, I may not be the person for you. Go find somebody who's perfect. But I am not perfect. I will never be perfect. But I am very blessed. I am very favored. I am very wise beyond my years. I'm only 31 years old, and I have lived at least 4 lifetimes in this one, child. When I tell you. Okay? So I've reinvented myself many times, and this right here that I'm going through now is another reinvention. And I just want y'all to see the journey. Spirit says share the journey, so I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share without shame as well. There's a lot of people in the spiritual community who will say that certain things you just shouldn't share, or you shouldn't be talking about the Holy Spirit, or whatever the case may be. I don't care about none of that. At this point, I know what I know. I've been denying it based on what other people have been telling me for too long. It has caused me nothing but headaches, strife, and frustration. And now that I'm getting back into what I know and doing what I know to do, I've experienced divine peace and divine favor. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. Like, it's just all about building relationship with the God in you. Really, that's what it is. It doesn't have anything to do with religion. It doesn't. If you want to be religious, get somebody else to do it. That's just not my ministry. But I will tell y'all that God is real. I will tell y'all that the Holy Spirit will activate you into a life that you never imagined. I will tell you that your prayers are heard, both the positive and negative aspects of them. I will tell you that your word is powerful. You know, I'll tell you that you're an alchemist, and what you believe, not even what you believe, but what you know, you will receive. For so long, I've known I wasn't good enough. I've known nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. I've known nobody wanted to actually support me and show up for me without it feeling like a burden. I've known nobody wants to hold space for me emotionally. I've known nobody really wants to do their spiritual work and everybody is focused on the flesh and the ego. I've known that for so long, and then I wonder why I'm not getting the results that I want in my business. Baby, you got to change what you think you know. How is that going to work out? It's not. So that's what I'm going to say. Matter of fact, I'm not even about to do this whole reading. I'll come tomorrow and give y'all a reading for Virgo season, since Virgo season is starting. I feel like this was enough, but what I will do is pull us a postcard from Spirit and pull a card from my Light Seers Tarot deck, because I like that it has the light and the shadow. Excuse me. All right, it says, dearest you, since you're on earth, since you're, Lord, why do I have hiccups all of a sudden? Since you're on earth, you understand how buildings are built. Yes, a good solid foundation, and yet flexibility too in case of earthquakes. Truth be told, you can't offer something sustainable unless it is built from a solid base. Whether it be an idea that takes form one step at a time, or an actual house, that means a sturdy foundation dug, poured, and built. We want to remind you of this because you might need a little encouragement to see this is true in your life at this time. Celebrate the fact that right now you can repair the cracks in the foundation of your life effortlessly, as well as do a general sight check to ensure your hard work is being well supported. Do this and know you are building your life on a perfect and sound foundation that will allow you to welcome the many miracles waiting to come and visit. We're so happy for you and so intrigued by what you're building. Yes, I received that. I don't know if y'all received that or if that was just for me, but I definitely received that. Spirit has definitely been telling me you need to build a strong foundation and have clarity in what you're doing, but you need to be flexible. You don't have to keep doing things the same way and expecting a different result. So I totally received that. That definitely was on point. Okay, let's pull from the Light Seers. I haven't used this deck in ages, but something told me pull it out today, so I did. I think my wife bought me this deck in like 2019. We got the Three of Pentacles come out. Now, intuitively speaking, the Three of Pentacles is all about building. It's all about building community, building relationship, building foundation even for the form of your tree to be able to rise. And, you know, that's essentially what we're doing here with Empowered by 11. You guys are building your own community where you can grow, you can be empowered, you can be inspired, you can converse with each other, you can converse with me. We can use each other as we can help each other rather as fellow seekers on this journey. I even wrote in my journal a part that I didn't read to y'all of the same journal that I was reading earlier. Where is it at? About building relationship. In the second chapter of Genesis, in the perfect world that God created, God knew that we still needed community. Small groups are powerful, and the enemy will always attempt to make it hard to stay connected. So this is another reminder that I need to be building community. I need to be building relationships. Y'all need to be building community. You need to be building relationships. You need to not only be seeking someone who knows so much more than you that you feel inferior to them, but seek somebody that's only a couple of steps ahead of you that you can look up to. Seek somebody that's right below you that you can help pull them up. You know, don't always find reasons to be so offended, so disconnected, so separatist. Like, yes, people ain't shit sometimes, but at the end of the day, we need each other to survive. That just is what it is. If we didn't, then in a perfect world, which God created a perfect world, according to the Bible, Adam was there with all the animals, the green grass, all of the beauty of the world, right? But he still needed somebody. So he had to bring in Eve. Now, if y'all know anything about what Eve means, Eve definitely means to come before. So that's a whole nother topic. But the whole point is we need community. Okay? We need community. If you're learning tarot, I would recommend this deck. Reason being, I like this book. When I first got this tarot deck in like 2018, 2019, I was so in love with this book because it was a time when I was still kind of studying definitions of tarot. Like I'm way beyond that now, but it was a time when I was still studying definitions of tarot. And in this book, it has the light and shadow aspect of each card. And I thought that was cool because before I got this deck, I had already made index cards and all the things, doing like what the cards mean and what their reversals and numerology and astrology and all the things. And I had to like write all that out myself. So just to get the book and it come like this, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. So I would recommend, if you are just starting out, definitely check out the Light Seers Tarot deck. But I want to read to y'all what it says in here about the Three of Pentacles. So on the Light Seer side, it says cooperation, community, teaching and learning, sharing and listening, teamwork. There is no limit to what you can manifest together. On the Shadow Seer side, it says difficulty working with others, a need to listen, selfishness, pushing your own agenda, not trusting your partner's ability, and ego clash. And then it says working with others gives us with the opportunity to learn from one another and to blend energies to create something totally new. Look for conscious collaborators as mentors, apprentices, or both. Co-creating together for the good of the whole is powerful magic. And this teamwork and community card calls you forth to add your unique essence to the bigger picture. Remember that your relationships are the base of your well-being. If you are having trouble with others, seek to align goals in order to cultivate peaceful unions. Mutually beneficial relationships place equal importance on each person's novel wisdom and way of being in the world. Regardless of the relational hierarchy, everyone has something uniquely enchanting to bring to the table. When life paths are intertwined, strive to create harmonic states as you weave your way in and out of one another's days. Welcome people into your heart and open doors of possibility that didn't exist before. And there's an affirmation. It says, I step into the vibration of conscious collaboration. I step into the vibration of conscious collaboration. Yes. I love that. That was perfect. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I'll be back, like I said, tomorrow to talk about Virgo season, to give you guys some readings on what Virgo season is to bring and give you guys some astrological